Going on, y'all? JC versus Chef Trez. Awesome battle. Super fire. Super fire. Pretty much instant classic. I remember when I was in the building at Born Legacy and I was watching that and I was just like, yo, this right here is an instant classic. There's absolutely no way this battle's not going to translate on camera the same way that it did in the venue. And sure enough, it lived up to what I saw live in the building. When I watched it live, I actually watched it completely turning off any type of judgment. I didn't watch it thinking, okay, I'm going to pick a winner between this person, this person. For that battle, for once Chef Trez started rapping, I was like, I'm not judging this. I just want to watch it and be entertained. And to this day, like right now when the battle dropped, you can still look at it like that. You don't really have to judge this battle if you don't want to. The battle overall is a win for the culture and for the fans. But if you do want to put judgment on it, it's a little bit easier to judge a battle like this when you get to watch it at the crib, when you don't have all this energy and, people around you just feeding, off of, what this person's reacting to this and silence for that and blah, 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 blah. It's easier to just be in your own zone. So with that being said, judging it on camera, a lot of people have it this way too. It's not like I'm saying something that's outlandish, but JC 3-0. 3-0, far from a body. It's one of those 3-0s where it's like, let's say it's a boxing match and let's throw back like classic Gotti Ward. You can say Gotti Ward 2 or 3, whichever one you want to choose. And let's say Gotti won on all judges' scorecards, but the score is like 115 to 113. Like it's close. Maybe even you want to say 116, 112. I'll say 15-13. But it was one of those close fought matches, unanimous decision, 3-0, but classic nonetheless. It's awesome when you can have a battle like that where one person is a definitive winner, but at the same time, it still produces a classic because his opponent came to fight rather than just get hit with the one-hit sleeper and, just ruin a back and forth amazing battle. This battle, I consider it to be, in my opinion, I feel like there's classics and then there's like super classics. Like I said, there's top tier and in one of my previous blogs, top tier and God tier. Like there's levels. For me, man, people might be like, yo, you're wild and you're giving it too much credit. I put this in the super classic category, honestly, man. Because battles like this where there's no dry spots, it's start to finish just entertainment and just, enjoyable, just watching experience. Like there's no way I can't put this in a super classic category, my personal opinion. I hold this battle up to the same type of par where I hold JC versus Chilla Jones. Now, before people start flaming me in the comments, yo, you're wildin', this is not as good or better than JC Chilla Jones. I didn't say better, I just said it's up to par with JC Chilla. In the sense that just in terms of entertainment value, there's no way you're going to watch this and not be ridiculously entertained. JC Chilla, I say, has more of a classic feel, not just because it was, it took place in Black Star or whatever, or it was a smaller room battle, or it's because it's older, so you look at the ones that came first with a little bit more of a notch above anything else because it came first. But I look at JC versus Chilla as like maybe a little bit more of a classic because that battle is, in my opinion, more debatable. I feel like JC Chilla Jones, you could still argue who won. One day you could say, JC, other day you say Chilla to this day. But for me personally, with Chef Trez and JC, I feel like I've watched this battle like 2-3 times already, and each time I just say JC won. I don't feel like this is one of those things where it'll flip-flop, so to speak, but at the same time, it's not going to take me away from watching it because even though JC just had crazy material, like JC was just in outer space, he was interstellar this entire battle. Chef Trez was there with him, you know what I'm saying? Chef Trez had incredibly memorable moments in the battle. The packing my briefs and the AR on my pants leg and I'm walking regular because I'm used to it. Like, what? Like, shit was crazy, man, crazy. When you break it down, round one, instant, like I said, instant entertainment. Chef Trez, solid punches, back to back to back to back to back. He wasn't missing a beat. But when it comes to setups and haymakers and just like delivery, JC really is at an elevated level, and his experience in the ring is showed in this battle too. So JC just kind of showed like a difference in terms of, I guess you could say, experience maybe a slight elevation in penmanship. The way that his mind works and the way he's able to craft his material. JC was phenomenal. This might have been his best performance ever to this day. And that's saying a lot because JC, as we all know, has battled a bajillion times. JC is one of, like, if you're in amateur boxing, like, you could fight 3, 4, 5 times a month, 6 times, 7, 8 times a month, whatever. If you're in tournaments and stuff like that, if you're just doing boxing shows, you could definitely fight every month. JC's one of those battlers where he battles all the time. He's battling as consistently as an amateur boxer would compete. You know what I'm saying? And that's no knock to him. That's not like people should be like, oh, well, he battles everybody. Like, he's just an easy dude to battle. He battles everyone. Like, nah, bro. For fans who try to hate on dudes who battle consistently and give us constant material to be entertained by, we should be praising these dudes rather than just being like, he's oversaturated, I'm tired of seeing him, blah, 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 blah. Like, dudes like DNA, like JC, like dudes who just really put the love of the sport first. And some dudes might put, just, I want to get that check. But still, if they're bringing heat to get that check and it's something entertaining to watch, why are you going to clown a dude for being about his job, on his grind, about his job, rather than being some dude sitting behind his computer, hasn't battled in 2, 3, 4, 5 months, 6 months, a year, 2, 3 years, just typing away, this person's not on my level, blah, blah, blah. Like, bro, this person is on the front lines in the field, letting off fire, defending his ground 24/7, holding it down for battle rap, whereas everyone else want to just sit behind their computer, Twitter finger style, and talk about how legendary. Like, nah, give them some props. And I'm not taking no shots at nobody. Calm that down. I'm just saying real facts. Like, these dudes that are active on the front lines in battle rap, you got to give them their props, man, to come with that type of material. Chef Trez came with his heat, too. You know what I'm saying? He had his rebuttals. He had his bars. Came with the 3 of the things. Even though JC had, obviously for me and a lot of people, he won. And he had some incredible material. Chef Trez probably won, if you want to give out an award, bar of the night with the, these dudes walking around with the shotgun in their pants leg and the deuce and they boot and they look stupid or some shit. Packing the briefs, AR on my pants leg, and I walk regular because I'm used to it. I remember being in the building, that shit was ridiculous. And watching it on camera, that shit was ridiculous. That's one of those shits where it just fucking makes you, like, you're watching it on your laptop, you just want to throw your laptop across the room. Like, that shit was crazy. Overall, that battle was incredible. And you got to salute Chef Trez for contending with, JC, who I would say lyrically, like, penmanship wise, is probably the best person he's faced. And this is by far the toughest opponent he's ever faced in terms of what form that opponent came in. You could battle, Chef Trez could have battled a Loaded Lux or a Murder Mook or a Hollow to Don, but battled a Lux, Mook, or Hollow on a day when for some reason, we all had those days where just something in your mind is off. If you're a boxer, something with your body, maybe your legs a little bit burnt out, maybe funny shit, you had sex before the fight, so you got the spaghetti legs and your motor's just not running, or something's on your mind, your head's fucked up, so you're just kind of cloudy and something's not clicking. We've all had those days where just something's not clicking. Like for me, Hollow, he had that day when he battled Joe Budden. Like, yeah, he won the battle, whatever, but he wasn't the Hollow that we know he can be in that battle. I remember after like going into the 3rd round for Joe Budden, I was literally looking at my boy like, yo, son, I can't believe Hollow's about to lose to Joe Budden. Like, this is horrible for battle rap, you know what I'm saying? Luckily, Joe dropped the mic and shit. But we've all had those days. Lux versus Mook 2. Granted, the crowd and shit like that, Slaughterhouse, the venue, it wasn't, the usual battle rap crowd. I remember there was a lot of people there that were just like, yo, Joe Budden's battling some guy named Hollow to Don. I don't know who is that. It wasn't a lot of core battle rap fans going to that event. But we've all had those days, man. We've all had those days. Mook versus Iron Solomon. You could say that even though Mook won, shit was boring as a motherfucker. So we've all had those days. So Chef Trez could have battled Mook Lux or a Hollow on a day that they're just straight ass. And then just because their name is what their name is, the person that they presented to Chef Trez won't necessarily be the toughest opponent that he's faced this day. You get what I'm saying? Like JC, if JC had battled Chef Trez the way that he battled K-Shine, you couldn't then say, you'd be like, oh, that's the biggest name, but that wasn't his toughest opponent. You know what I'm saying? If he became with that type of JC, nah, you'd be like, That wasn't his toughest opponent, but this was by far Chef Trez's toughest opponent. Name, this is a big name for him, and just quality of what the opponent comes with. JC's preparation for this was flawless. Mortal Kombat, flawless victory type thing. But Chef Trez really showed that he is one of the newer breed guys that is a force to be reckoned with to the millionth power. Like, the sky's the limit for that brother as long as he stays consistent. And I really like Chef Trez because the way he spits, he's kind of calm. His swag is a little bit more laid back with the shit. But at the same time, he gives you enough energy, enough turn up in his voice, enough little, animations and stuff on stage and everything like that, so that he's not overly aggressive and overly turned up to the point where it's just like, yo, calm the fuck down. Chef Trez just gives you just that right amount of energy so you could just fuck with him 100%. So he has a bright future ahead of him, for real. And his stock, without a doubt, definitely rose. Let's talk about the future. Everyone's talking about JC potentially battling Loaded Lux. I think that would be a fire matchup. I remember back when I was at Vlad TV, I used to pretty much advocate for anyone who's not with a big ass name. Like, big name dudes, they didn't really need my help on Vlad TV. Like, if I was to bring on Goods, he didn't need my help. Goods' name was already wild big. Like, he got his recognition. People knew who he was, and people were going to look for him regardless. But when I was at Vlad, if I would bring on, Mr. Wavy, Prez Mafia, Ty Law, I brought them all on when they were still trying to come up, your boy Clip, bringing on, a whole bunch of different people that at the time especially had names, but their names weren't really built up and weren't really branded to what they could be. So I used to advocate for dudes. Like, one match specifically that I wrote articles about the shit. I think I actually asked people questions in interviews to try to promote it. I was trying to push for Loaded Lux versus Chilla Jones. This might have been around the time that Chilla put Prep in a box. I'm not entirely sure, but Chilla was putting in work. Penmanship-wise, for me, that battle made sense. Whether you want to argue performance-wise, blah, 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 it's not a good matchup. But penmanship-wise, that's why I was thinking it made sense. And I feel like JC versus Loaded Lux, without a doubt, makes sense. Penmanship, like, come on, bro. Come on, like, seriously, that's a great matchup. I honestly hope JC gets to battle Lux in the future. For me, like, everyone tries to hold out for these big names. People were saying, for Arsenal's last battle, UW was, he's trying to put him versus Loaded Lux. That's cool. I'm not against that at all either. But I do think that JC, hey man, he deserves it. Why not? Give him the shot. As long as the money's right for Lux, Lux shouldn't really care if it's JC or if it's, Eminem. If you're going to pay Loaded Lux $100,000, probably not, but still you're going to pay him, let's say figuratively speaking, $100,000 to battle JC, but you're only going to pay him $20,000 to battle Eminem, which makes more sense. You know what I'm saying? Why not? Lyrically, penmanship-wise, I think that battle's fire. One thing I got to say is that JC did just battle Big K on RBE, and in my opinion, Big K won that 2-1 in the building. I don't know how it's going to look on camera. No clue how it's going to look on camera. It might be the exact opposite on camera. But what I do want, or don't want people to start doing is, once that battle drops, being like, oh, how you going to put JC to battle Loaded Lux when he just lost to Big K? I don't want people to start saying that bullshit. Because if you want to say he lost versus Big K, he didn't lose in a bad way. If you want to say he lost versus Big K, he lost 2-1, not 3-0. Because the first round, JC was still in outer space from his Chef Trez battle in round 1 in the building. Maybe he was for round 2 and 3. It just didn't translate the same way in the building. But round 1 on RBE versus Big K, JC was still in outer space from when he battled Chef Trez. And if you want to say he lost in the same fashion as Chef Trez lost, where it's respectable, it's honorable, and even though he lost, you still have to look at him and either respect him, and if you're in his competition, look at him like, damn, if I battle that dude, I got to come prepared. I can't come slacking off at all. But I don't want people to all of a sudden be like, yo, how you going to offer him Loaded Lux and he just lost to Big K? Like, I hate when people do that shit. You know what I'm saying? Loaded Lux battled Charlie Clips when Charlie Clips has arguably taken losses to a bunch of dudes that arguably, who are far below Lux's status, you know, and far below Clips' status, if we're being honest here. When Lux battled Hollow, it's the same thing. Hollow has arguably taken losses to people that are arguably not on Lux's level. You know what I mean? So I don't want to see people try to prevent JC from, and both of those dudes, Clips and Hollow, arguably beat Lux. A lot of people say that Lux won those battles. A lot of people say that Charlie and Hollow beat Lux when they battled them. Don't use the JC battle, the Big K battle, as a reason to take Loaded Lux from JC. Me personally, man, I want to see the older cats come back into the ring. Because we gonna keep on talking about y'all. It's not like it's Michael Jordan, where you know my man is retired and you just want to compare, you know, LeBron, the new great, blah blah blah, to Jordan. All right, it's not like you're comparing it in a sense like, yo, like this they could actually play one-on-one and we could see in their prime who's better. It's like, nah, you know Jordan's retired. Like in this sense, people want to talk about Lux and Mook all the time. You know, battling this person, battling that person. But then the shit never goes down. For me, it's just kind of annoying. It's like, yo, if we're going to talk about these dudes, and these dudes could easily be battling still. It's not like there's not really an expiration date on battle rap. It's your mind. As long as you don't have like Alzheimer's, schizophrenia, dementia, some crazy shit like that, you get some like speech disorder, you're good to go. You can battle when you're 85 if you really want to and you're, you know, in shape to do so. You could do it. So it's kind of annoying to me when we just see all these people who are, granted, what they did for battle rap before, salute to y'all brothers, 100%, I'll never take it away from you. But now you have so many people on the front lines keeping battle rap going. Yeah, let's say this person starts this, but they stop at this point. And after they stop, if no one else picks up where they left off, where's it going to go? It's going to go nowhere. It's going to drop. It's going to die. It's going to become forgotten. So they did what they did earlier on, and they've done more in the future and more current years. I'm not going to say they haven't. But at the end of the day, you have dudes all the time, every month, putting in work to keep battle rap going, to keep it building. You know what I'm saying? New school dudes are getting the recognition. They're continuing to put in the work and they're continuing to carry the weight so that battle rap can continue to thrive and elevate. So give them a shot. If we want to keep talking about the OGs of battle rap, then let's see them step in the ring. We don't got to keep talking about it if shit ain't going to happen. If it's not going to happen, let's stop talking about Mook and Lux. You know? In terms of an active battling kind of discussion, let's just stop talking about it. What was the point? If they're not going to step in the ring, let's not talk about it. Me personally, I would love to see Mook and Lux become active again. You know, they don't, you know, if they only are going to accept the 40, 50,000 and no less type of things, or even 100,000, all right, cool. I'm not going to hold my breath for it. But if they would be willing to settle for 15, 20, 25, shit, that's not bad at all, man. I wish somebody would pay me 15,000, 25,000 to battle in the amateurs for 3-minute rounds in the boxing. Crazy? Psh. Bro, you offer me a stack amateur boxing, I do this shit for free. I've had 44 amateur fights. I get punched for free in all 44 of those and hit dudes for free in all 44 of those. You know what I'm saying? Like, you throw me a band, I'm putting on the gloves. I'm with it. You could take a smaller check and battle more consistently and just continue to build upon your legacy and just, you know, help the culture in a sense. But I can't do business for them. At the end of the day, I would like to see newer cats get shots with the Lux and the Mooks. I would love to see JC versus Lux, and I think JC very well could beat Lux. Lux even said in the past, anyone, I've interviewed him when I was on Vlad, he said, you know, anyone can be anyone in battle rap. It's a battle of the mind. You don't know what a person's mind is capable of doing and creating. Loaded Lux could potentially lose to a bill collector if they ever battled. A bill collector played his cards right, if he mapped out his words properly and, you know, his delivery and his performance, just mapped out everything to the point where, you know, this is quality to beat Lux. He could do it. Anyone could beat anyone. Let's never count a person out. Straight like that. I would love to see a JC versus Loaded Lux. I would love to see Chilla Jones versus Loaded Lux. You know, I would love to see Big K versus Murder Mook. you know, I like that. I like that match. There's a bunch of different matchups that I would like to see. I actually, if I want to, I'll jot down a piece of paper all the matchups and shit and just spit it to y'all. But I say personally, JC versus Loaded Lux. I would like to see it happen. Lux, you know you cool, bro. But I say get in the ring. With that said, let's see what happens. Until next time.